is the Media Chatroom, and we're here to give you some of the stories that's hidden behind the headlines. In today's video, we will be going over the future of one of the most infamous restaurants in Houston, Texas, the Turkey Leg Hut. Now, co-owner of the restaurant, Nakia Price, has filed for a divorce from her husband, stating that she had been suffering from domestic violence. We will be covering everything with you, but first, before we get into that, I'm gonna need you guys to like this video as well as share it with everyone that you know. Also, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and become an official Chatty Patty lover, and I promise you're gonna love it here. And make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you know when we drop our next video, because it's gonna be something you won't want to miss. Now let's get into it. Now y'all, the Turkey Leg Hut is located in Houston, Texas, and it is a big deal. So according to their website, they started out in 2015, but over the last few years it's become really extremely popular because it's gone viral on TikTok so many times, and it then became one of the places that everyone must go to whenever they come to Houston, including celebrities. And I'm not talking just local celebrities. I mean, I'm talking about everybody from Lil Baby to Kevin Hart to Rick Ross. I mean, anybody you could think of, making it even more popular, causing its average wait time to be anywhere from 1.5 hours to 2 hours. And y'all, they really be waiting. But just in case you've been living under a rock and you don't know anything about the Turkey Leg Hut, here's a little bit of their story from an interview that they did on The Breakfast Club. Okay, y'all, Nakia's voice is actually copyrighted, so for these 30 seconds, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what she said. So if it asks them to go ahead and give him the rundown on the Turkey Leg Hut and how it started. Basically, they started in the field during the rodeo season. And at the time, the hustle was just shuttling people to the rodeo. And they ended up putting a barbecue pit out there so that they could sell turkey leg, boudin, and sausage. Now, that wasn't their actual goal, but before they knew it and looked around, they saw people was just staying there eating their turkey legs and not going to the rodeo. And every time a customer would buy one, they would ask them to go ahead and repost it on social media. So basically, that's how they ended up growing. So to know anything about Turkey Leg Hut, you know that it grew by word of mouth, because there was no marketing or anything. Everything was basically grown through social media, and that's it. And just like that, bada bing, bada boom, it took off. So Envy's follow-up question is, how many restaurants do they now own? Lynn says they only have one restaurant, but they own a whole entire block with 6 food trucks and a whole lot of other businesses that still have their other name. You pretty much know how that goes. This restaurant does so well, and it has the interest of a lot of people, that it's really grown into something big. And it's promoted as a locally Black-owned family restaurant from these 2 individuals who got it out the mud together. Publicly, the couple seemed to be successful in business and in love. However, that narrative soon changed when Nakia Price, the co-owner of Turkey Leg Hut, posted to her Instagram that she's been experiencing domestic violence with her husband, Lynn Price, the other co-founder of Turkey Leg Hut. She started by saying, "I'm finally validating what the world already knew." Basically, the streets had been talking, saying that she filed for a divorce from Lynn. And her caption reads, "I've been quiet for so long, and I can no longer hold my silence. This war that I've been fighting behind closed doors, all the while pretending to the world that everything is perfect, it's too much to bear. I am living in hell on earth. The abuse, the manipulation, the lies, the deceit, the gaslighting, and narcissism have become unbearable. The world thinks he's a man who stands on business, but y'all are sadly mistaken. The man that me and my children know is cruel, abusive, emotionally and mentally, and completely void of any emotion. From the time we wake up to the time we close our eyes each night, we are literally in a fight for our peace and sanity. I can admit that I played my part in hindering and hiding his behavior, but today, I'm finally choosing me. I'll die behind this truth, and I'll lose everything to finally have peace. I brought light to his life, while he came into mine to destroy not only me, but all who loved me. I'm finally closing this chapter, but I know the battle is about to commence, and I'm ready. I know after I win this war, I'll finally have my peace. There are so many more chapters to my story, but this one is officially closed. I'm going to need all the support I can get, but I also know that God has me. With love, Nakia Holmes. Now, as you can see, she closed the caption by using her maiden name, because as of May 10th, Nakia had filed for a divorce. As I said earlier, locally, the streets had already been talking, saying that he'd been creeping with a lot of women. So people just didn't know why she was getting a divorce. And based off the information that I'm about to share, it's primarily due to domestic violence. Now, as you guys know, information like this is public record, but because of who they are, a lot of stuff is going to be sealed. Now, as you can see, one of the documents that was also filed in court was a restraining order that Nakia filed for her as well as her kids, who's 7 years old and 20 months old. Now, y'all, I did get a copy of the affidavit, and I will be sharing only a few things to give you kind of some more insight as to what was going on and what she's sworn to be the truth. So y'all, on paper, Nakia is the sole owner of the Turkey Leg Hut due to her husband's criminal background. Now, based on her statement, he seems to be a very volatile man. And it's not just to her either. It looked like he's threatening a lot of staff at the Turkey Leg Hut. And y'all, he have a lot of these episodes where he just go into the restaurant, take the money out the cash register, and just spend it all willy-nilly. And what's even worse, y'all, is he threatens the personal assistant and gets her to give him blank checks so he can write them out for himself in whatever amount he wants, in excess of thousands of dollars. And child, he ain't just spending the money on cars, he's spending the money on women too. So Nakia is asking for the judge to grant a restraining order for herself, her kids, as well as the restaurant. Now, y'all, she also states that he has a lot of cars, and she's asking the judge to order him not to be able to sell, trade, or give any of those cars away while the divorce is pending. Now, based off the interview, they seem to have accumulated a lot of assets together, so the divorce proceedings may go on for a while. Now, I'm sure some of the food lovers are going to want to know what's going to happen to the turkey leg hut now that this divorce is coming into play. Now, based off of her statements in her affidavit, it doesn't sound like he's quite ready to run the restaurant due to his volatile temper, as well as his spending habits, making her worried that there could be a detriment to the business if he has access. Now, should the judge order a restraining order, you foodies have nothing to worry about, because Nakia knows exactly what she's doing. Because there was a point where he went away to jail for 2.5 years, and she's the one who carried the restaurant. And once he got out, they was able to expand. But then again, y'all, some people have been noticing that Nakia is starting to build a brand of her own. And who knows if she even wants to continue to do that restaurant. Because, y'all, she recently wrote a book called The Price Pursuit, starting entrepreneurship. And this may be a good exit strategy for her so that she can start to get behind the scenes in different business ventures. So after Nakia made her post, Lynn also took to Instagram so that he can make a statement. And here's what he said: during this challenging time, please know that I truly care for and love my wife. I regret failing to meet her expectation, but today I promise to do better, to learn, and to make sure to not let this happen again. You are my partner who deserves to be treated with love and respect, and I failed you. On behalf of my children, I ask members of the media and all portions of the Turkey Leg Hut to continue to support the business that provides for my family, and to continue to respect and consider responsible judgment during this difficult time. We ask you all to lift us up in prayer as we make necessary adjustments to our norms. It's a bigger picture. I love you, and I know I have work to do on my end. Now, y'all, since then, both Nakia and Lynn have blocked their Instagram accounts, so you won't get to see what's going on unless you actually been following them prior to what's happening. Now, one thing about his statement that people are noticing is that he didn't deny anything that she claimed. Now, that could be for multiple reasons. It could be that the statements that she said are true, or maybe he's trying to really actually grow and take some accountability for some of the things that he's done. I mean, because she did call him a narcissist in her post. Now, if he's serious about changing, then there could be some hope for the Turkey Leg Hut in the future, because although they may be divorcing personally, business-wise, they could possibly still work together. Because honestly, if they could find a way to continue to get the celebrities to come and the food still be halfway decent, then that's all they need. But if they aren't able to come to some type of agreement, then one person is going to get the restaurant, the other one is going to get a settlement, and they're probably going to end up opening another restaurant that's going to put them in competition of each other. I mean, that's usually the play for all couples who have a restaurant together that end up in divorce, because you know all the secret sauce, and all you need to do is find one little thing to stand out, making people want to go with you instead of your former business partner. Because y'all already know the motto: if you did it once, you could do it again. And in business, most of the time, the most difficult parts is building relationships, which they both already have. I mean, look at all the celebrities that come through that every day. That's not even including the relationship that they've made with these organizations, like the Astros that they feeding on private planes. And y'all, honestly, that's probably one of the reasons why she didn't file for a divorce sooner, because of all the success that they've had with the restaurant, on top of having kids together. But she honestly just reached her breaking point, because if you pay attention to the post, like she said, she didn't care if she lose it all, and that's the moment that she knew that she was willing to walk away. Now, chatty patties, y'all already know it's time to get in those comments. Let me know, what do you guys think is going to happen to the restaurant now that the couple has filed for a divorce? Do you think that there's any way at all that they can work together so that they can maintain it and leave it as legacy for their kids? And leave me y'all reviews of the Turkey Leg Hut if you've ever gone. Was it worth a long wait time? And how was the customer service during this wait time? I'm sure there's going to be plenty more that's going to happen with this story, and I'll keep up for you guys. So for now, make sure that you guys like the video as well as share it with everyone that you know. Also, subscribe to the channel so that you can become an official Chatty Patty lover, and I promise you're going to love it here. And don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that you could be the first one to know when we drop our next video. And y'all already know what's next. I'm heading to the comments to see what y'all have to say. Then I'm jumping back into the headlines so that I could bring you guys another video. So that's all for now. Bye-bye.